Well, depends on what time it is in France. I don't know if we should wake him up.
Is that where he is? We could call him.
I don't know. Who's watching the Cats?
Pete, we're recording. Wake up.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I think it's Bears. Who is watching the Cats? That's is what's important.
I got a dog on each side of me, so hopefully they'll just stay quiet while we do this.
Well, Pete's Cats.
I'm worried about
He took them with him. He took the Cats with him, I'm sure.
smuggled them into his carry-on.
Yeah, probably. Hey, what's that sound? Hello, everybody. Targeting Winners, episode 67, I believe. We're looking at week 4. You can find us at cfbdudes@yahoo.com if you want to email the show. You can find us on Facebook at the Targeting Winners page. And if you are already there, you're already one game up. You got a winner already. Posted it mid-afternoon yesterday. My South Alabama Jaguars beat Appalachian State. They were an 8-point dog, I believe, and ended up winning the game outright by a lot. The Gio Lopez show was off and running. Did you catch any of that game?
I was awake for about the first half, and all I thought was all that talk we had about App State potentially being Group of 5 representative. See ya. You are done. I don't even care if they beat Liberty next week. They look pretty bad. I think the only team that actually right now has a shot, Boise State, held their own against Oregon. If they get that Mountain West title, I don't know how it's not them. But right now they look like the team that's going to represent the Group of 5.
Yeah. I was surprised. I mean, in addition to Gio Lopez and DJ Thomas Jones at tight end, they have a running back named Fluff, which
well, that should have been a 2-unit play just on name recognition alone.
Gio and Fluff.
Yeah. I am glad that at least one of your teams named Jaguars is actually doing something for you, because
God, they're terrible.
Yeah, that's why we don't do an NFL show, man.
Yeah, never mind the Rams. Jeez, one weekend, everyone's
they have an excuse. They're all injured.
Well, yeah, they're all healthy now. It's Nakua out, shoulder, leg. It was Cooper Kupp, shoulder. Matthew Stafford next week dead. The whole line is gone. So.
You can blame me for Nakua because I had a player prop on him for the game he got injured. So I was like, naturally. That's why I don't bet NFL.
Thanks, dude.
No problem. Glad I could help.
All right. Well, after that, we'd like to remind you can also find us on YouTube. So please like and subscribe our channel there on YouTube. You can also find us on Twitter or X at Target Wins. And please like and subscribe to this podcast. Leave a review if you'd like. If you like us, tell a friend. If you don't, tell someone you hate. And we're going to keep going now. We're going to go into our picks for this week. We'll add Pete's picks at the end because he's in Paris. So we're going to go, I don't know, how about this one? Fresno and New Mexico. Take it away, Darren.
That's mine. Okay, so this one I basically have over 60.5 here, a 1-unit play. Watched a couple of New Mexico games. Derek Danfier, their quarterback, he's pretty legit, man. He's a serious dual threat guy. They can actually put up some points. They put up 39 against Arizona, so they could score. The fact that they put up 39 and lost by over 20 also tells you they let opponents score pretty much at will. So at 60.5 here, probably a get well spot here for Fresno. Their offense hasn't looked great so far. Plus a little revenge spot here. New Mexico actually upset.
Yeah, they got them last year.
They did. So I am looking for lots of points here. This is still around 60 at some places. I took 60.5. I thought it was actually going to go up. I'm looking for Mikey Keene to get right. I'm looking for Derek Danfier to still dominate. And I'm looking for the New Mexico defense to allow 2/3 of this total on their own at least. So I am going with a 1-unit play, New Mexico, Fresno State over 60.5.
That sounds very reasonable, especially with the New Mexico defense giving up. I think Fresno's good for 45.
I would hope so. I mean, I
can
know
totally see it.
Well, I can too, but lately how I've been doing the last 2 weeks, a lot of things I see aren't happening. But yeah, maybe this writes itself. Yeah, this should be a pretty high scoring game.
Okay, we're gonna move on really quickly. We're going to go to one of mine. This has one of your future bets. Your teams here, Virginia Tech.
Can I just say before you get going?
Yes.
You did see the Metallica concert announcement.
Oh, yeah.
And you know where they're stopping for the first time?
Right down the road from your house.
Well,
they're not far.
that's not where I was going with that. But yeah, there are a couple hours down the street from me. Blacksburg, Virginia.
Oh, are they really?
Yes, they are. I can't even imagine. That is going to be I think it's in May of next year. So finally,
it's going to be in the stadium.
It's going to be in the stadium.
Oh, that's going to be.
Oh my gosh,
awesome!
I kind of thought of road trip, but Syracuse is a lot closer. So,
is that next year or when's that?
Yeah, I believe it's like April through June. They're doing a couple of their no repeat shows, and then they're done doing a couple of one night only shows. Like Syracuse.
Well, I'm just wondering if they do Blacksburg like on a Friday night and they're home Saturday.
Well, it's in May, so they're not going to be playing any football. Yeah,
I was hoping it feels like a big long tour that like next October or something.
I think school's probably out by then, so I don't know what the student population is going to be like. But either way, man, you've been using one of their songs for almost a quarter century. I got to imagine that's going to be a phenomenal show.
It's going to be a great show.
I digress. On with your breakdown.
Another great show. I think it's going to be by drones here and Virginia Tech. They're giving up 3. Rutgers, I don't think they've been challenged. They haven't been challenged at all. They played Howard, I believe, and Akron, and they've been at home. They got their first road game in Blacksburg. For Virginia Tech, they got to take care of the ball a little bit more. The offensive line has to get a little bit better. Drones has been sacked a lot, but I think this is going to be a nice spot. Only giving up 3 to Rutgers, so I like Virginia Tech here.
Yeah, you got a good line there. Some books are up to 3.5 already. I got to admit, I felt good getting them to win the conference, Virginia Tech at 18-1. It's actually higher than that now because they have not played well, losing to Vanderbilt to start the season, not playing a great game against Old Dominion. There's questions here. This is not a conference game. They don't start until they go to Miami next week. So hopefully they're not looking ahead. Hopefully they're trying to get some stuff straightened out here. But yeah, man, I'm rooting for Virginia Tech. Go Hokies.
Go Hokies. Crank the sound. Here we go. Let's do another one of yours here. Let's do this one.
Tonight. Yes. All right. Nebraska and Illinois. I really started to look into this game and just, you remember that Spider-Man meme where there's just like 2 Spider-Men just like pointing at each other? This is what I came up with these 2 teams. I mean, they are so similar in far as quality of schedule. Stats through 3 games. I mean, they both beat up an FCS and a lower level FBS team. Well, they also each have an impressive win. Nebraska shutting down Colorado, Illinois upsetting a then ranked Kansas team where they picked off Jalen Daniels 3 times. I didn't understand at first why the spread was as high as it was. I got +9 at BetMGM. It's sitting at +8.5 at most places right now. I think FanDuel even has it down to 7.5. So if you want the dog, definitely look at DraftKings right now. But the spread just didn't make sense. I mean, I know there was a lot of Nebraska preseason hype. Matt Rule 3rd year. We all know good things happen there. Dylan Raiola hasn't been asked to do much, but what he's been asked to do, he's done it really well. I think maybe some people are thinking this year's Illinois is kind of as bad as last year's Illinois, but the defense has played a lot better. 2022. They only gave up like 12 points a game and then almost lost their entire defense to graduation or the NFL. Regressed last year to like 29 points a game. But now they've only given up 26 points in 3 games so far. So they're looking like their 2022 team as opposed to last year's team. Plus, I like the progression of Luke Altmaier. I mean, he finished last year 13-10 TD to pick ratio. But the first 3 games of the year, he was 3 TDs to 7 picks. And 4 of those came in a game against Penn State. So he finished the year strong. He's up to 6 TDs and no picks this year. So he's looking pretty good. But the total's like 43 or 42.5, and the spread's 8.5 or 9. This just screams like ugly run, punt, or run a few more times and punt. This is just going to be hopefully an ugly Big Ten, slow it down, 2.5 hour game. I'm just going to hope that Illinois does not try and abandon the run because Nebraska's defensive line is legit. And I don't know if you remember last year's game. It was also on a weeknight. It was in Illinois. It was really windy. And Nebraska had scored 20 points, but after they got their first touchdown, they kicked off, went into the wind. Illinois never even caught the ball. It hit the ground. Nebraska recovered, scored on the very next play. And those are the only 2 touchdowns Nebraska got. They're like 10 seconds apart. So I'm interested to see if the Illinois defense can put any pressure on Raiola, maybe cause him to make a mistake or two. But in that win game, I mean, Illinois threw 47 times and ran 19, and that makes no sense with the weather the way it was. Brett Bielema, Illinois' head coach, he's on that level right below Mario Cristobal and James Franklin, of coaches they do not trust. But I'm just going to hope that he learned something from last year. Do not abandon the run. You have a trio of running backs that can help you control the clock here. So stick with the run, ugly this up, stay within 9, 1 unit, Illinois +9 tonight.
Yeah, it's a good bet. I mean, even going back to his Wisconsin days, Bielema has been questionable, to say the least.
He's the one reason I was even hesitated before making that bet. And this line went all over. It went from 8 to 10 down to 7.5 in like 30 minutes on DraftKings the other day. And I did not understand that at all. So I felt good with the number, but now I see it's creeping back up. So still 8.5 at DraftKings if you want to take the dog tonight. But yeah, go Illini.
Yeah. We're going to move on to one of mine. Over the past few weeks, I've been turning into Pete here, playing totals instead of actual picking winners here. I got over 48 in this game, Houston and Cincinnati. I saw a lot of the Cincinnati-Pittsburgh game. They look really good. I also figure, the way they move the ball, they can put up some points. I think 48. I think the final scores, both teams would be probably in the high 20s, low 30s, like 35-28, something like that. I think both teams can take care of the ball pretty well. They're pretty even. I think they're both at +1. I like the over here at 48. They also have they utilize their tight ends a lot more. I think that'll open up the middle of the field. They got in the Pittsburgh game, number 11, this big kid. He's like 6'6", 6'7", just looks like a little monster out there at tight end for Cincinnati. So I like that. They can get him the ball, especially down towards the end zone a couple times. I think they can get to this figured final score, something, like I said, 35-28, something around that big. And that covers the 48. So I like the over there.
Yeah, Houston's offense definitely started to show some signs of life because I bet against them last week. So why wouldn't they?
Well, that'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, I am a train wreck in the early going. But, yeah, I mean, if Houston's offense continues to take a step forward, Cincinnati's had some tough losses. That Pittsburgh game was brutal. They led like the entire way until the very end. But, yeah, I mean, Houston's definitely trending in the right direction, put some points. Their quarterback, let's say Derek Smith, I believe is his name. Pretty good dual threat guy as well. So, yeah, I like the directions Houston heading. I still don't think they have a shot in the Big 12 at all, but Cincinnati's kind of, I don't know. I don't even know what to make of Cincinnati. So, but yeah, I like the way Houston's offense is headed in now. So that's a good play.
I agree. I hope you're right. Do it.
Well, let's hope I'm right for a change.
Because if you're right, that means I'm right. So
that does mean you're right. Okay. Here's the game I'm least confident about. So I laid the 3 with Auburn here, home SEC opener against the Razorbacks. I'm falling for the Hank Brown hype. I know he had a great game last week, and I know it was against the aforementioned New Mexico. I get all that. And I like what Arkansas actually has done this year. I mean, they should have beat Oklahoma State a couple weeks ago, but we'll get into that later because I also have a bet on that game as well. I think on both sides of the ball, Arkansas is just a hair better, but this is just like an anti-Sam Pittman play. This guy also, just below the Cristobals and the Franklins of the world, he's on the hot seat for a reason. 2020 when he came to Arkansas, I mean, he's one game under 500 for his career there. He's 11-23 in the SEC. Something tells me that even though my head says I should have taken a 3 with Arkansas, I just got a feeling somehow he's going to mess this up. He's not, like I mentioned, he's not very successful in the conference. Auburn's a pretty tough place to play. They've got some confidence now with this new quarterback. Just gut play here, honestly, nothing more. So if you want to do a half unit, I wouldn't blame you. I just think that something bad is going to happen to Arkansas. It's going to be Pittman's fault. And the temperature on his hot seat's gonna be really high come Sunday morning. Give me the freshman QB and all the hype that comes with him. 1 unit Auburn -3.
Yeah, it's an interesting play. I think that, you always go with the home team, especially I don't think Arkansas is anything to be feared. So
I think a lot of their stats are, I mean, they haven't had,
inflated.
yeah, and it's tough when you got 3 games. You're still not playing anybody in the conference. You've got 3 games to look at. But again, who are you really playing? What they have? Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Oklahoma State. We all know. We watched them weekly last year. Their defense is terrible. It's still terrible. There's no way they should have lost that game. Which I wish they could have beat them because I might have got a better number with Auburn, maybe gotten some points here. But Taylor Green, who came over from Boise, he wasn't like amazing at Boise, and now we've got an SEC defense here. So I think this might be a little bit of step up for him. He is prone to the occasional pick every now and then. Hopefully Auburn's defense can rise to the occasion here, but I'm riding the hype train with Hank Brown, man. Choo choo. Go Tigers.
We're going to move on to my last pick, and I'm not sure if the graphic is going to come up, so this will be quick. And it's not going to come up. So no. So we'll just do
that's a nice graphic right there.
That is. We'll just put our new graphic up there. That's my last play is going to be Miami. They're giving 17 to USF. Why? Because the gods just want me to suffer for this football season.
Wait, you're betting Miami? Am I hearing you correctly?
Like I always say, it's all about the U. It's totally depressing. Yeah. It's just not my year. Like we said earlier, half the Rams are hurt. The Jaguars suck. Florida State sucks. And now Miami's going to be good. They finally got a quarterback that not even Mario Cristobal can mess up. And
but he can.
I don't know. He looks really good.
Okay, so we're getting into conference play soon. Don't give him one more week, and then when ACC games start, just hold on.
Well, I would like to jinx it. An easy win for Miami. Easy win. No way USF can beat Miami. No way.
By 30.
So, I'm thinking like 45-3 minimum for Miami on this one. I'm glad the graphic isn't coming up. I don't have to look at it. So, with that in mind, all that crack research of just the gods just wanting me to suffer, let's just move on to your last pick. And here we go.
Speak of suffering. Okay, you would think I would learn that Kyle Whittingham, the head coach of Utah, would not screw with any of us bettors in regards to injuries. So, long story short, I'm going to get a headache because I got one when I was telling you this story before we started recording. I bet this early in the week when Utah was a 2.5-point favorite. Why would you do that? Well, here's why. Cam Rising missed last week against Utah State with a hand injury. They kept him out. They said he could have played if they needed him to. They didn't think they needed him to. They wanted him healthy for this game. So I thought, well, I'm betting this number 2.5. If he's announced as a starter, it's probably going to 3. I'll take my 2.5 and so be it. Following day, I wake up. Utah flips from a 2.5-point favorite to a 2.5-point underdog. I'm like, wow, nice job, idiot. You have a crap number. Cam Rising's not playing. You're not going to win this game. Come to find out today, Utah is back to a 1.5-point favorite. So I am not even following what's going on anymore. I have no idea if he's playing or not. If you want to wait till game time, I wouldn't blame you. I don't even know who the backup is or if he's any good. I know he had a decent game against Utah State, but that's Utah State. They're pretty terrible. The one thing I know about Utah is their defense should be 10 times better than what the Cowboys have put out this year so far. We had mentioned that game against Arkansas. 600 plus yards against this Oklahoma State defense. Alan Bowman has yet to throw like that key pick that he always does. But Ollie Gordon is only averaging like 3.5 yards a carry. That, and the whole offensive line is back. Something is not right there. I don't know if it's his ankle still. He had some ankle issues from last year. He's got that DUI or whatever the hell he did, stupid, hanging over his head. Maybe that's affecting his play. I don't know. I just think if Rising plays, they've got the better quarterback, and I think they're going in with the better defense. So fingers crossed that Rising actually is playing. The line move again this morning tells me that it's a possibility, but I'll be reading everything I can possibly find out to see if that's the case. Because I do think if he's playing, I think this line is still going to get back to Utah -3. But I mean, whoever wins this game, driver's seat in the Big 12. I think this conference is going to beat the crap out of each other all year long and only get one team into the playoff. But I did put a 1-unit play on hopefully Cam Rising and the Utah Utes -2.5.
Yeah. Well, they'll get one team in a playoff regardless, whether they're.
Yeah, but they're always like, are them or the ACC going to get a second team? It's not going to be the Big 12.
It's not going to be the ACC.
Well, you got Clemson in Miami. You did say the U is back, so could be both of them.
Yeah. God damn. It sucks. Jesus. We're only in week 4.
I mean, look at the bright side, though. I mean, I'm losing my bets, but my futures bets still look good. Yes, your team sucks. The team you hate the most is doing real well, but you're winning your bets, and that's what we're here for.
That's
so
what it goes. So
look
with
at
that in mind,
yeah.
RPO time.
Hey. Hot seat game of the week. Billy Napier, we're talking to you. Could this be your last game? I don't think so. If anything, I would go over here. I think it's sitting around 58. Neither of these teams have any form of a defense. I have to imagine if Napier wants to wake up employed Sunday morning, they're going to need to do something here. I don't even know who the quarterback's going to be, but neither of these teams can stop anybody. If I had to bet this game, I would go over.
Yeah. Word on the street down here, it's going to be Langley.
It should be.
And it should be. They're also talking about he's going to be like the most coveted transfer portal kid. They're saying Texas A&M, Alabama, I think Georgia. They're just going to open up a Brinks truck, back it up to his house, and say, "Come here and play quarterback."
Now that makes sense because that was 6 when I made this graphic originally. Before I sent it over to you a couple hours ago, it went to 6.5. So maybe there is the possibility that it is going to be that Langley kid.
I would lean Florida just because of a good quarterback. So. Next game, North Carolina State at Clemson. Oof, plus 18.
This was 20.5. And Grayson McCall is out. Why this line is going down, I don't know.
I didn't hear about McCall. I was going to say that North Carolina usually plays Clemson pretty well. And then you said it went from 20 to 18.
Yeah, well, I thought 20.5, fine. You don't want to make it 21 because then everybody's going to hammer NC State and bring it back down. But for this to drop 2.5 points after it was announced that McCall's not playing and they're starting a freshman, I mean, Clemson's defense could get them, 14 on their own with a couple of defensive scores here. I just don't see how Clemson does not steamroll this team. I mean, NC State, I know they were like a popular pick for the ACC, but they haven't looked anything like a team that's going to do anything this year. And why the spread's going down, I don't know. I would bet Clemson here if I had to.
Yeah, I'm going to pass. Kansas, West Virginia. Interesting. Kansas getting 2. Oof.
Something's wrong with your Kansas Jayhawks, man. I don't know if Jalen Daniels looks healthy. I mean, I was watching that UNLV game because last week I was like, yeah, take UNLV in the points. UNLV won outright. West Virginia kind of needs this. And I don't know if it's a new OC for Kansas or what, if they haven't figured stuff out yet, but going to West Virginia is not the best place to go to try and figure out your offense.
No, it isn't.
If this stays under 3 and I had to bet this, I would take the home team. I would go West Virginia here.
Yeah, I'm going to pass as well. You just don't. I just I'm biased towards, the Daniels at Kansas there. So I'd be suckered into betting on that, and I don't want to do that. So Michigan got their at home again. USC. And they got a new quarterback.
And this line, yes, they do. And this line is dropping as well, down from 5.5 to 4.5. I can't run far enough away from this game. I don't even know what to expect here. Credit to Danton Lynn, man. That USC defense is looking legit. But Michigan's is always legit. So, I mean, can they generate enough points to stay in this game? I don't know. There's Michigan money coming in. I would not. I would run away from this game at all costs.
I have a strong lean towards USC just because the defense is better. The offense, I think, is good. Their quarterback, Mason, is looks like
Moss. I love that dude.
Yeah. He looks like a player just based on that. I mean, I almost put this bet in. That's how far I was leaning on.
If it gets down to 4, maybe maybe throw yourself a little YouTube short.
There we go. Another Facebook post. Reminder: get on the Facebook page.
Yes, you would have got South Alabama plus 8.5 last night.
Yes, and the people who were on the page got that because they're better than you people who are on there. So.
They're sure hell better than I am, but
you're right.
The bar's not being set very high there anyway. So
right. Georgia Tech at Louisville. I cannot wait to go to Louisville. This is going to be a fun trip for us. We'll be out there for the Miami game, rooting against Miami, like everyone should. And you got Georgia Tech's getting 10 at Louisville.
I don't know if Louisville's played anybody that tells me how good they really are. Georgia Tech's like halfway done with their season already. I think they got like 4 games under their belt already. Yeah, this is an avoid for me because I have no clue what to make of Louisville right now.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm passing here. I was technically thinking about leaning Georgia Tech, but I was like, nope, pass. Absolutely, run away. UCLA at LSU. 22.
Another spread that's come down. This was like 24 earlier in the week. Well, yeah, I got an under bet on the UCLA win total, and I got a nice little boost by Indiana smacking the crap out of them in California last week. That was a game I thought UCLA was going to win, so thankful for that. Obviously, straight up, I'm rooting hard for LSU. Again, I haven't seen anything. UCLA's only played 2 games. I mean, they got steamrolled by Indiana and barely beat Hawaii. I don't get why this spread's going down. I hate backing LSU because they've shown they have no defense whatsoever. I would avoid it here, but obviously I'm rooting for LSU to just escape with the win.
Oh yeah, I mean, and like I said, it's always fun to watch Brian Kelly just lose his shit on the sideline.
This is true.
It turns all different shades of red. So Baylor at Colorado.
I know you love you some Colorado here. Yeah, I don't. My gut says Baylor's going to win this game. But again, who knows what you're going to get from Colorado? I mean, are they going to put up a dud like they did playing Nebraska, or are they going to smoke Colorado State, which a lot of the people who know a lot more than us were on Colorado State. But I mean, this is a conference game here too. You have Colorado winning the conference, so you probably do. I will abstain because I know you want Colorado here for your futures bet at plus 4,000. I totally get it. Something tells me Baylor, but
I'm just because it's less than a field goal. I was always already leaning Colorado anyway. I'm going to pass on this game, but I'm leaning Colorado. If I was going to bet, it'd be Colorado.
Technically, you have a money line bet.
Yeah, technically, I have a money line bet
from here on out anyway. So
So Tennessee, Oklahoma. This is a game I almost had a bet on too. This is a game for another one of my futures bet as well.
Yeah, you got Oklahoma over their win total.
Over 7.5. This is one of the losses I had for them. So I said, okay, they'll probably lose this game.
That's understandable because I don't think any of us thought Tennessee was going to look as good as they were looking. When this line came out, like over the summer, one of the games of the year, Oklahoma was actually like a 4-point favorite here. So that shows you how much the market thinks of Tennessee, almost an 11-point swing. Everything I've looked at says Tennessee really should win this game without too much trouble. Jackson Arnold for Oklahoma, he has just not looked. He just has not looked the part. While Nico, I'm not even going to try and pronounce his last name. He knows who he is. Has looked the part. Because it's gone from 7 to 6.5, I would bet Tennessee here. Oklahoma hasn't shown me. Smacking Temple around doesn't really prove anything to me here. And they struggled with Houston. They struggled with Tulane a little bit. If they fall behind 14-0 or something like that, this one's done.
I don't feel good about my futures bet, but this game, I think Tennessee's going to smoke them.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I was closer to betting Tennessee than I was USC.
And didn't Tennessee's head coach get dismissed unceremoniously from Oklahoma?
I know he used to play there.
I thought I read something where he kind of got let go, and it was a little on the ugly side.
Well, he played there when they beat FSU in the title game back in 98, 99, whenever that was.
Yeah, but if this is, there's going to be a ton of bets on this game without a doubt. But if it stays, I don't understand the money coming in on Oklahoma. I just don't know if they think it's too high. So probably be 7 by kickoff. Wouldn't surprise me one bit. But if I was going to get on it, I'd get on it now.
Yeah, I'm seriously still thinking about it. I just think it's going to be something like 34-10 or something like that. I think I don't. I mean, yeah, and like you said, if the coach, what's his name? Heupel, is that it?
Yes,
Josh Heupel, and yeah, he might want to run it up on there. And a couple. Oh, by the way, scores at the end of the game, maybe.
Yeah.
So, Iowa, Minnesota. We did it. That sounds familiar.
I'm so mad at Iowa. I lost a lot of heartbreakers last week. App State, I gave out a 2.5. If I waited till kickoff, I could have laid 1.5 and won that bet. They gave up a nice pick 6 early on, which cost me. Iowa, I laid like 23 with them. They won by 17. They gave up a punt return touchdown. Thanks, Iowa. So yeah, I had a couple of heartbreakers last week. Yeah, this game just. What's the total here? Like 20? I just. God.
It ain't high.
I think Iowa needs this more than Minnesota does.
Yeah, I'd lean Iowa up. I'm going to let it go just because it's on the road.
Well, if you're betting the number and not the team, yeah, I mean, you got to go Iowa here. But I can't bet them because, their special teams did me dirty last week. So,
Michigan State wrapping it up at Boston College.
I put this on here only because I forgot that Pete was not going to be here. I believe he's got an over win total on Michigan State, and they're sitting at 3-0. So I put this on here specifically for him. Hey, it's scrolling right across the bottom. What do you get? 5.5? Yeah, all right. So yeah, he's already halfway home.
He's halfway there.
That Troy one. Well, good thing because that Troy one's not happening. Anyway, I don't know, man. Boston College is kind of making me a believer. And again, this number, if you want Michigan State, wait to see if you can get 7. But I would avoid this. I mean, I like what I saw from Boston College against Florida State, but I mean, you tell me, is that the legit Florida State? I mean, should that be what teams are doing in Florida State? I don't know.
I'm in full fade Florida State mode right now.
Okay.
I did not like what I saw against Florida State.
Okay. Well, I didn't put Cal at Florida State on the list, but we could certainly discuss that if you'd like.
I think that was one of Pete's picks. So
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, I mean, Thomas Castellanos certainly looks like he's ready to take that next step. I don't know about Aiden Childs. Yeah, better than I thought, but I don't know about Aiden Childs yet. I don't know. I guess, again, with the number 6.5, if I had to bet this, I would take Boston College. Oh, you know what? Isn't this the red bandana game for BC?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I would take Boston College.
Mm-hmm. Usually it's the first home game after 9/11.
Yeah, that's a big deal for them.
Yeah. Yeah, we had that last year with those guys.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's look at Pete's picks. Wrap this up.
All right. So he's got Iowa, Minnesota over 35.5. Iowa's 3-0 to the over in their games this year. So I certainly see why he's leaning them. Yeah, I mean, they even they put up 38 points last week in a non-covering spot here. I don't know too much about Minnesota's defense, but he's the Big Ten guy. If he says over, I mean, he's 10-3 on the year. So if he says over, I kind of have to agree with him. I'll let you do that second one.
I don't know because, I mean, at 44.5, I don't see Florida State scoring that many points. And the defense was better last week for all the bad positions the offense put them in. I thought they held up pretty well. That'll be interesting. Over 44, I wouldn't be surprised if the under hit on that one at all. That's the only one I have a question of.
Yeah, I don't know too much about California.
They look good. That they've just beat Auburn.
They beat Auburn, but that's Peyton Thorne. So I don't know. I mean, Cal's 3-0. Are they legit or who knows? Find out this week.
Yeah, in the Texas game, Texas will probably score 52 by themselves.
Arch Manning gets the start, and our favorite Group of 5 quarterback of all time, General Booty. Oh, he's in for a long day. Texas possibly could do this on their own. I guess it depends when they decide to call off the dogs. I don't know.
Yeah. Just worth noting, Pete, nice week last week, 3-0. Perfect.
Me, 0-4. Forgot to put my Notre Dame bet in there, but doesn't matter. I didn't post it on the Facebook page. So thank you, Notre Dame, for saving a little bit of my bankroll for this week.
Technically 2-1 for me due to my screw up, and I put the wrong bet in. But
so you cashed your bet, but lost.
But I
lost what you gave out, but you at least cashed your bet. So I mean, it could be worse.
Yeah, well, I put the other one in to balance it out, so it's still the same. No, actually, it's a little bit worse.
That's all right.
I know it was the right thing to do. I mean, I'm not gonna. If I'm gonna give out the under, I might as well bet it, even though I already bet the over by accident.
That's why I didn't throw Notre Dame on mine. I mean, I know I said if it gets to 7, I was going to fire. It got to 7, I fired, but I just didn't put. I didn't post it, so I didn't count it because
right.
Be transparent, baby.
All right, guys. We're going to wrap it up here. Don't forget to check out our Facebook page. We've mentioned that a few times already. We also have a YouTube page. Please subscribe on there, and you can catch us there as well. You can also find us on Target Wins on X and cfbdudes@yahoo.com for all of your questions. Until next time, thank you for listening and watching, and we'll see you next time.